Glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Down at the shop today to work on the project truck. 62 C10 pickup, if you haven't seen it before. My name's Jimmy. We're making it work. Heading outside right now. Let's do it. This is quite a bit rusty on this side. All the way down this edge. Our inner floor, the support. A lot more work on this side to do. Terrible. Car cancer. Nobody likes that. Now, I got all my rusty support stuff cut out. I'm not going to change the entire support, only what I need. So I cut all the soft metal out, which is this piece. And I'm going to cut what I need off the new one. And I got the old rusty piece of floor I'm going to leave in there so that this cross member ends up in the right place. But I'm not going to obviously bolt or weld it in until I change the front section of that inner rocker. I'm doing the rear section of the inner rocker while this is cut out. I'm going to build it back up. The last panel will be the outside cap. Hoping to get all that done today. We'll see what happens. This is actually the spot weld hole. So I'll mark my two holes. One of the problems with the aftermarket parts. I'm sneaking up on cutting this to the right length, and it's getting pretty close. And this is probably about the 5th attempt to cut and fit. So I said, let me bolt it up and see how it goes. It's not at the right angle. So I'm gonna have to slice both of these, bring this up to match the angle of the floor, and then weld in a filler piece where I cut it, where I sliced it. Like a pizza pie slice kind of thing. And I'm gonna have to do that right now. I bolted it up. I'm gonna have to cut that in order to get this close to level and then see how much more. I still have metal I'm gonna have to trim off of here. I left myself a little cushion. But with it not at the right angle, there's no way I can get it accurate. Next step, cut this thing. Too bad. I'm pretty close. I'll mark the inside of this so it's close. That should be good. Get this bent about right. I'm gonna have to put a tack weld on there to get it to hold shape so that I can remove it, and I'll finish welding it off the truck. I'll be able to slide it back on. Well, now we're getting somewhere. I've had it in and out of there about a dozen times probably, and that's about as close as it's going to get. The problem is the width of this box doesn't fit the original box. The angle of the box doesn't fit the original box. I double checked the part number. It is right rear cab brace, so I'm going to make it fit. That's what we do. We make it work. And of course, you know, I had a bunch of other parts with me. I had the front fender lip. I was like, oh, I'm going to knock this out. I get to that front fender today too. Here we are about 3.5 hours in, still working on the first part. Once I get this in, then I'm going to cut the floor and do that back section of the floor. Then I can do the cab corner, but my positive outlook seems to be a little too much on the positive side. I'm going to tack this up. That's about as close as that's going to get. I'm going to have to grind the weld down where the floor goes over there and make a filler piece for this pie cut right here. Got my filler panel all made up. Made it a little long so I can just cut the end off once I get it tacked in there. Spot welding it because I got the heat way up. Make sure I get good penetration. I'm going to weld it from one side and put seam sealer on the other side. That's my plan. Perfect. That's gonna do her. I try to get a section of floor in there. I gotta bend this in line with where the floor is gonna be too. That's how it was on the factory one as well. Couldn't tell until I had the rusty piece in my hand upside down. A little bit of primer in there, get it all buttoned up. I was gonna put some holes in it for my spot welds. I was going to put a couple spot welds, but I can't get my tool in there now that I welded it in. Wish I'd have thought about that a minute or two earlier. A minute or two before I started welding. Now because I'm trying to get the bed on the truck and I can't spread my truck out all over the shop since it's not my shop, I wish I had enough room at home. If I had enough room at home, I could have blown this cab off the frame and put it on a rotisserie and not having done this kind of thing. But, you know, you find a way to make it work. You do what you gotta do. I'm getting this back piece in. I cut this off the floor so I can get this in behind. You don't have to put the whole entire patch panel in. You just cut what you need off the patch panel when you don't need the whole thing. And this is good solid metal here. So I'm gonna cut this to length. And this where I cut here is gonna fit when I put the inner rocker in. It's gonna just weld back together. Shouldn't be too bad. Once I do that, I'll be able to put my cab corner on. Because everything in the back here will be done. I can do this rear piece, cab corner, put the bed on the truck, then I'll go inside and start working on the inner and outer rockers and all that stuff. So I'm going to cut it to the correct height for this. This metal's good. I'm only replacing the metal that's rusted. You know. All right. This is about the fourth. Oh, I kicked you guys. Sorry. This is about the fourth attempt at fitting it, and we're getting really close. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably call that a win right there. I'm going to bring this corner up a little more. To get this all tack welded, then I can go back to the cosmetic part, which is the cab corner. That's what we really want to get to, but we got to get all that rust out of there. You can't just put a new cab corner over that rust because you need access to that area, right? So we'll clean this up a little bit more. We'll start welding it in. I can only punch one hole for my spot weld. knocked the welds down, so I'm not making it perfect. It's going to get carpeted, but I don't want anything to snag it and cause a tear or anything, so I just hit the high spots and any sharp edges, knock them down. Knock down the spot welds in case anything's going to touch. Time to throw some etching primer and some rusty metal primer and start the cab corner. Alright, test fitting my cab corner. Both of them had too much metal here and I had to take it off to get it to sit flat on the B-pillar. So we're getting close though now. Too far in the bottom and you can't get the top in, so something's probably up with the rocker. I'm going to trust this patch panel more than I trust the rocker because it's got a 1/2 inch of Bondo on it. As long as the height of the rocker is about right to the door, I can adjust it in and out slightly for the cab corner. So I think that's about what I'm going to tack her on there. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hope you enjoyed my cab corner video. That's the final installation. You can see the line this way, the line this way, and the line with the door jamb. All straight. So we got a little ways to go, but we're getting there. I appreciate you watching. I hope you'll torque the like button, maybe subscribe. I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. See ya.